everybody, and welcome to the channel. In today's video I'm going to rant about one of the most unpredictable things on the road that you can meet. The pedestrians! Yes! And you heard me right. I said road, not freaking pavement or sidewalk. Alright, the material is going to be controversial, but that's actually the point of it, you know, to make everybody think about something different than food, boobs, and smartphone notifications. Yeah, my problem with pedestrians is that, in my opinion, they have too many laws and they have too many privileges, especially in the cities or in the countries of European community, that is. Now, the thing is that according to the highway code, whenever a pedestrian sets his foot on the street or on the road, you as a driver are supposed to let him go, and you as a driver are supposed to do anything, you know, to make him safe. That's it. Now, the problem is that whenever you hit a pedestrian, and it doesn't really matter where and it doesn't really matter when, you are always in trouble. Always in trouble, and usually it is your fault. That's a nice Beamer, 6-cylinder Beamer. And yeah, in some case scenarios you can be more or less at fault, but usually when such a thing happens, and as I said before, it doesn't really matter whether it happens in the city or outside the city, in an urban area, or whether it happens, you know, just on some random place on the street or on a pedestrian crossing with traffic lights, doesn't really matter. The prosecutor will always ask stupid questions like, how did that happen? Couldn't you avoid it? Couldn't you see him? You're supposed to observe what's happening not only in front of you, but also what's happening, you know, like everywhere. Yeah, that's what we drivers are supposed to do. Have our eyes even inside our butt. See? Such a quick kiddo. He wanted to be safe, despite having a green light. Now, the problem with pedestrians is that if they have too many laws, they're starting to get entitled more and more. And you can observe that in, you know, like the large cities especially. Hey dude, just for an instance, you can go and watch Royal Jordanians videos. You can see how the pedestrians are behaving there. This is crazy. Now, getting back to my rant, I have a question. Why am I supposed to let a pedestrian go? Why am I supposed to yield to a human being, non-motorized person, on a road where the road is my place, my space, where I am supposed to move, where I am supposed to go from point A to point B? I am not allowed to ride or drive on a sidewalk or on pavement, or however you call it. I'm not. And whenever I'm, you know, I want to cross it because there is some, I don't know, underground parking garage, or, you know, you just want to go, I don't know, to some other place, whatever it is. I don't know, even if you want to, you know, just park the car, you always have to watch for them. And I'm fine with that, because this is their space, their safe space. But once again, going back to my question, why am I supposed to let them go? I'm driving. I'm controlling a motor vehicle which has some weight, you know, on it, and it needs some braking distance. And there is also like a lot of things that can happen between the action and the reaction. So why am I supposed to let them go? Why am I supposed to, you know, stop and... Well, this is just, I don't know. It's blowing my mind whenever I'm thinking about it. Just follow this logic. Do trains have to yield to pedestrians? Or do trains have to yield to cars? No, of course not. So why are we supposed to yield to them? Oh, that was a polite lady. See? Polite lady. Now, another thing that pisses me off is how the pedestrians use their pedestrian crossing. Yeah, I'd like to remind you that it serves both sides, right? It's an information for the drivers which says, hey, it is likely to see somebody, a person on the road, and, well, be careful. It's not like an, you know, asylum for the pedestrians when they are safe. And what's the point actually, you know, to... Oh, damn, the railroads. What's actually the point of, you know, jumping like in front of the car and being entitled, saying that, well, this is my right to go because this is my space, this is my place, I pay taxes. Or I don't know, think of whatever they are going to say if such a thing happens. Now, it is alright when there is a pedestrian crossing with the traffic lights, because, you know, the situation is very obvious. So green is go, red is stop, and, you know, my green is your red, easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? There's no ambiguity to it. But it gets really hairy when there are no traffic lights. And oh god, to all the pedestrians and all the drivers who happen to be pedestrians, you know, from time to time, just whenever you're crossing the street, do it safely for your own sake, because you have no freaking chances when somebody hits you. No chances at all. Is it worth to risk it because you have a right to something? That's bullshit. Do it as quickly as possible and do it safely. And stop being entitled, Jesus Christ, because when you're crossing the street, you're actually entitled to only two things. Two things. Try to guess what they are. That's actually very easy. The first thing is death, and the second thing is disability. That's all, you know, what you guys are entitled to whenever you're leaving the sidewalk and you're stepping your foot on the road. That's it.
First blood. Double kill. Multi-kill. Monster kill.
Think about it. Whenever you're going to cross the road, now guys, let me clarify something. You have this really nice word in English language, right? It's called jaywalker. We don't have it in our language, but I guess most of you know that it means a person who is crossing the street, well, improperly. That's probably, I don't know, like the easiest, the simplest definition of this word. Now, I just want to say that I also happen to be a jaywalker, and well, it happens to me like most of the time whenever I'm out. I don't know, I live on the countryside, so the pedestrian crossing might be, you know, far away from the place where am I in this very moment, and I'm too lazy simply to backtrack. Or, well, it also happens to me whenever I'm in town, like usually, you know, the same idea. I'm too lazy actually to find a pedestrian crosswalk and, you know, just do it safely, once again, properly, like a properly entitled pedestrian. Okay, now jokes aside, but whenever I do it, or whenever I cross the street, doesn't really matter whether I'm jaywalking or I'm doing it, you know, the right way, I do it as quickly as possible, and I do everything to do it safely for me. And I always try to do anything not to make the car drivers even to slow down, so that I'm never ever influenced, never ever impeding with the traffic, with its fluency. And in my opinion, that should be, you know, done by everybody. I'm a driver. Most of you guys who are watching this are also drivers, probably. And the best idea is that you know what actually pisses you off, right? So stop doing it to other people. That's it. I never do things which I hate when somebody, you know, does something to me, and then like a brainless idiot, you know, duplicating it and doing it to others. What for? You have your own brain, and you can think for yourself. If the majority of people are idiots, you don't have to be one of them, right? Anyway, guys, that will be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and well, what else? See you guys in the next one. Bye, take care.